Hey, I'm the MMA loser and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about Khalil Rountree Jr. fighting against Anthony Lionheart Smith. And before I start the video, please subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers and I want to complete 500 subscribers before this year ends. That's my goal. Okay, now since that is out of the way, let us talk about Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Anthony Smith. This is kind of a weird matchup because Anthony Smith he just keeps he's a weird fighter. At one point of time he was really good, but he was never really that good. But he did go 5 rounds against John Jones, which is quite an achievement. But right now he's considered to be a little bit of a delusional fighter because he considers himself at the same level like Michael Bisping and then Neil Cormier and all of those former champions. He thinks that he should be treated in that manner. But all that aside, Anthony Smith is definitely a legend. He has had 55 fights, 55 MMA fights. For God's sake, if you can put this into perspective, 55 fights. How the hell is his body still intact? I mean, of course, you can see it in his last couple of fights. He doesn't look really that motivated, but still, he's doing well. He defeated Ryan Spann, whatever, in his last fights. So that is quite a good thing. And prior to that, he lost against Johnny Walker and Magomed Ankalaev. And yeah, I mean, when he was fighting against Johnny Walker, he was saying something about his family. You are not taking this away from my family. And then I think Johnny Walker tweeted back that, hey, I did not try to steal anything about your family. There was some funny stuff, dude. UFC is funny as well. He lost to Magomed Ankalaev, which is, come on, he was going to lose. But he did defeat Davin Clark, Jimmy Crute, Ryan Spawn, and then he defeated Ryan Spawn as well. Once again, now Khalil Rountree Jr. on the other hand, he's fairly young. He's 33, and I wonder how old is Anthony Smith. I think Anthony is probably 36, 35. Anthony Smith is 35. He's not exactly that old. In the light heavyweight division, 35 is not exactly that old. But the problem is Anthony Smith has had 55 mixed martial arts fights. 50 goddamn fight. 55. How can he keep fighting like that? Khalil Rountree has had what 17, 18 fights. So Khalil Rountree, if you compare their experiences, I don't know. He has had like what 5 times I don't know, like 3 times more experience. Anthony Smith has 3 times more experience than Khalil Rountree. Almost 3 times. I'm just rounding it. But Khalil Rountree has a really good style. He is, as we call him, Thailand ready, Lumpini Stadium ready, Muay Thai skills. And Anthony Smith has shown to be susceptible, has shown that his weakness is leg kicks. If you kick his legs, then he cannot really fight you that well. Overall, Anthony Smith is he's a fighter. He's a fighter. He's not exactly a great striker or a great jiu-jitsu guy. He has good jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to say that his jiu-jitsu is very bad, but he's not exactly Damian Maia or Fabricio Werdum or I don't know who else is there or any of the Gracies or Brian Ortega. I mean, nobody's going, you know what, Anthony Smith, his jiu-jitsu is crazy. Nobody goes to say that. But Anthony Smith definitely has a well-rounded game. Look, Prime versus Prime, I think Anthony Smith has a better well-rounded game than Khalil Rountree Jr. Khalil Rountree is one of those fighters. I mean, look at him. If you just look at him, the dude is muscular. Dude is sculpted. He's like, you know how we all say Leon Edwards has the best physique? Well, Khalil Rountree Jr. is much bigger than him, and he still has abs almost 365 days of the year. The dude kicks like hell. He's got really good Muay Thai, got really good knees, really good kicks, and his punches are good. He has got power in his hands. But the problem is he has the same problem like Michael Johnson and Paul Craig and who else is there? I forgot. Derek Lewis in his prime. Like he always ends up losing the fight when it matters. He wins against better competitors and loses against worse competitors. And just it's like he takes 1 step forward and 2 step backwards in his career. So that's the problem with Khalil Rountree. I think he's mentally not in the right place at times when he loses. But he's definitely on a 4-fight winning streak compared to Anthony Smith, who's on a 1-fight winning streak against Ryan Spann. Khalil Rountree won against Modestas Bukauskas, Carl Robertson, Dustin Jacoby, Chris Dawkins. I mean, Chris Dawkins, again, defeated Chris Dawkins. I do not consider that a big win because Chris Dawkins was on a 5 fight losing streak. And yeah, I mean, Chris Dawkins is better. Like, I think the UFC did him a favor by, by releasing him. But he did lose to, Khalil Rountree did lose to Marcin Persino, Ion Cutelaba, and Johnny Walker, out of all people. He defeated Gokhan Saki. How can you defeat Gokhan Saki and lose to Johnny Walker? Johnny Walker knocked out, I believe, Johnny Walker knocked out Khalil Rountree with a really weird elbow. He lost to Tyson Pedro and Andrew Sanchez. Again, not exactly big names. He loses to people like Days, and then he ends up defeating Gokhan Saki and Eric Onders and who's who. I mean, even Modestas Bukauskas was probably a good fighter at one point. I mean, Johnny Walker is looking really good right now, and he lost to Ian Cutelaba. Ian Cutelaba is also, again, a really weird fighter. We'll talk about him in some other video. But Khalil Rountree versus Anthony Smith, I don't know how to predict this fight. I mean, on paper, Khalil Rountree should win this fight. He's younger than Anthony Smith. He has had less damage. He has better striking. He is more powerful. He has better punching power. He's got really good kicks, which is Anthony Smith's weakness. But on the other hand, Anthony Smith just has that ability to somehow win. He has the dog in him, as a lot of fighters would say, as a lot of people would say. Even in his last fight, Anthony Smith was losing against Ryan Spawn. Then he somehow bounced back, and then he somehow managed to win that fight, right? Anthony Smith, definitely, I think he has better ground game than Khalil Rountree Jr. But the thing is, can Anthony Smith take Khalil Rountree Jr. down? If he takes him down, then I do see Anthony Smith somehow winning this fight. I know a lot of people are picking up Khalil Rountree to win this fight, but I'm definitely not sold on Khalil Rountree. If he can defeat Anthony Smith, I think he should. I think he might be the favorite, but it's just that I'm not sold on Khalil. I've seen him messed up before, and he has really good striking. As Joe Rogan was saying, he moves like a Muay Thai fighter. He moves like a Thai fighter, and I agree. His striking is really beautiful to watch, but he always ends up somehow losing when it matters. But he's on a 4-fight win streak. He last lost in 2021, so like entire 2021, then 2022 he was undefeated. He had 2 fights. 2023 he's having his second fight against Anthony Smith. Again, Anthony Smith is, I believe, a short notice fight. He was supposed to fight against, I forgot who was he supposed to fight against. I really forgot. He was supposed to fight against a Russian guy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was supposed to fight against a Russian guy. That Russian guy was very dangerous. I would have picked that Russian guy to win because he has got really good grappling and he definitely has really good striking as well. In this fight with Anthony Smith, I just don't know who to pick. It's really weird. I genuinely do not know who to pick because Anthony Smith, again, he wasn't looking good for some time. Then he looked kind of decent against Ryan Spawn. He managed to win again. And also Khalil Rountree is also not really the best light heavyweight that we have in UFC. So it's really difficult for me to pick. So I'm just going to say that, you know what? I'm going to say Khalil Rountree Jr. wins this by, I don't know, second round knockout. Can I pick that? Okay. This is going to be my prediction for this video. I will not be surprised if Anthony Smith manages to win by unanimous decision. I think he can do that. But I'm going to take a conservative pick. What I mean by that is most people are picking Khalil Rountree Jr. to win this one, so I'm going to go with them. Maybe I'm influenced by by whatever I'm watching on YouTube. So I guess I'm going to pick Khalil Rountree Jr. to defeat Anthony Smith by a TKO in the second round. I can be wrong, and I do not mind being wrong because I do this just for fun. And with that said, please subscribe to my channel. I've got very few subscribers. Like this video, share this video. I want to complete 500 subscribers before the end of this year. Please share this, and I don't know, tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. And yes, peace out.